Yeah, welcome back, dear viewers. You're still on to Kaftan TV, and the program is called The Polity. It's a program to have, a view of what's happening around us in the polity, in the environment, in the nation. And this afternoon, one of our guests that we intend to talk with, he will be joining us very shortly. His name is Dr. Nwachukwu Anakwenze. He's based in California, but his mind, his spirit is with his homeland all the time. And very shortly, he will be joining, and we'll be talking with him because he would want to weigh in on what's going on, whatever is trending. This one is constantly trying to intervene, and because it believes so much in the capacity of Nigeria to be a lot more than it currently is. It believes that Nigeria has what it takes to be among the first, first world. When the third world, we don't belong in the third world. But he says all the time that the problem is that leadership is a challenge, and that if we get leadership right, then we will get every other thing right. Like they say, everything rises and falls on leadership. And so that's in line, that's in line totally with the thinking of Dr. Nwachukwu Anakwenze. Very shortly, he will join us. But, okay, so here he is. Dr. Anakwenze, you're welcome to the show. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
That's great. That's great. Good afternoon, and it's afternoon here. What is it there in California?
It's 6 o'clock in the morning.
6 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
Wonderful. All right, so that means that this is one of your first activities for today in your place. Thank you for the passion that you display all the time. Today, I like us to talk about the new chair at INEC. I'm sure that you have heard that someone has been appointed to run the electoral umpire. Have you heard that?
Yes, I heard that.
All right, because the former INEC boss handed over, I think last week Tuesday, and so on Thursday, very promptly, someone else was appointed. His name is Professor Joash Ojo Amukwiton, and he is the Deputy Vice Chancellor of University of Jos, Deputy Vice Chancellor Administration. He's a senior advocate of Nigeria, and he's got so many other accomplishments. He's been dean, he's been a head of department, everything that you can think about. And so he brings all this to bear on the office. I don't know what you have to say briefly about this new development.
My preamble is, we want a Nigeria that's things are done based on merit, hard work, fairness, and accountability as a measure of national character. We envision a Nigeria where ethnic diversity is seen as strength and asset to be harnessed and celebrated as part of our heritage. That's like what we're looking for. In terms of the INEC new leader, I've read his resume or CV. He appears to be very qualified to be able to do the job. So they are, in terms of qualification, he is. But is he going to be patriotic? That's the issue. You know, the last INEC chairman you have, Yakubu, was a disgrace to the whole Nigerians and African and black people in general. Despite all the academic qualification, he disgraced the country, and he brought the country almost down to shame. He couldn't even conduct an election. And they say he has glitch. What do you mean by glitch? It's fraud. He's busy in taking bribe money and changing the result of the election. So anyway,
Doctor,
we look for something better.
those are allegations. I'm sure that they cannot be, well, maybe you have your facts, but to say that he collected money to change election results, that is a little bit just in the realm of allegations, mere allegations, don't you think?
No, I'm not a television station. I'm a doctor, I'm a businessman, I have my own mind, I'm speaking my mind, I'm not Captain TV. I'm speaking for myself, I'm responsible for what I say.
Right.
So anyway, we want something good for African people, black people, so we can move ahead and compete with the rest of the world. This guy is qualified, but I hope he's patriotic. It's not what I just described, so we can move forward and do the best. All we want is may the best person win to lead us. That's all we want. For me, I'm here to help anybody that wins, so that Nigeria can get on top and be one of the top countries in the world.
All right. So you are here for anybody that wins, but let the best person win. I think that should be the mantra. That should be the guiding principle for everyone who's involved in the elections, or everyone who wishes Nigeria well, whether you're involved in the elections or not. So, Doctor, what exactly would you list as the agenda, as the priority, as the tasks that should be fulfilled under this new leadership of the INEC?
We want a leader of INEC that will ensure elections is free, fair, and transparent. And, they should be neutral, impartial arbiter of the electoral process, just like a referee in a game. That's what they need to be. They are doing it for us and for their own children. The detail works involved. They have to do a good job supervising, directing, controlling elections, setting the election schedule, enforcing a model, a code for the parties, making sure that they are like a quasi-judiciary body for the electoral disputes. They should promote. If they do a good job, that will promote public confidence and ensure the integrity of democratic process. Monitoring election and spending money spent, make sure it's spent properly. Registering new parties. Those are the things that he has to do. He's trained enough as a lawyer to do that, but I hope he has the morality and the patriotism to have that done. We need that so we can have confidence. All of us in Nigeria, God put us all there for a reason, to work with each other and cooperate with each other. We just need a good process. We just need good leadership in Abuja representing the whole country. We can work together, and we are not even as diverse as India. India has 60 states, 60 tribes, 60 languages, 60 everything, but they are more together. They work better together than us. We can do the same or better.
Maybe we're unable to work together because we have more. Our diversity is much more. We are reported to have over 250 ethnic groups, unlike the 60 that you mentioned about India. We have about 250 ethnic groups. Maybe that's the reason. Maybe it's so difficult to weld us together. What do you think?
I think India has more ethnic groups, but I'm saying those 60 states have predominantly a ethnic group or the other, but they have more than us, but they seem to be able to put it together for the interests of their country. So our culture is basically the same. We all eat egusi, obono, rice, stew. We all dance and shake our body. So you have two religious groups or three, the Christian, the Muslim, the traditional religion. But all of them are children of Abraham. The Christian religion comes from Abraham. The Muslim religion comes from Abraham. The African tradition, Chukwu Abiyama, Abraham. We all come from, it's the one God that all of us are worshiping. Why would you be tearing yourself apart for religion, whereas you all have the same one Father? So I think we can fix it. We can educate people better.
All right, so it's heartwarming that you have received the appointment of this new chair with I mean you have said that the man looks qualified by his credentials. He looks like he's good. He looks like he's qualified to run the office, but will he be patriotic? Will he bring in morality? That, I think, is the real issue, is the $1 billion question, because like you said, I mean, we've had INEC chairmen who had fantastic credentials, certificates all over the place, but at the end of the day, they failed to make the mark in terms of giving us the very best election. So what exactly will this man need? Are we looking at integrity here? Are we looking at the ability to reject tempting offers? Because you see, anybody who occupies that office is open to all kinds of pressures, all kinds of temptations. And so what should be the stance of this new man? Should he be able to say no even to his employers if he's been asked to disappoint the wishes of the people? I mean, let's hear you, Doctor.
First of all, I'm a prayerful man. I would say, first of all, we pray to God to help us, to save us from all this catastrophe and calamity that's all about us. But we wish the best, and we need to maintain line of communication, keep talking to him to stay good and do good for the whole African people, the whole Nigerian people. That's the best we can do. We can't use a gun to gun him down. We can't force him, but we need to keep talking to him. We hope he has ear to listen to us. Let's do something. If not for us now, for our children coming. For me, I'm a fighter for the young people. I'm a fighter for the young people. For me, that's what's driving me, to help the new generation coming up. I don't need anything myself. I don't need anything in life. I'm set for the rest of my life, but I'm worried about the young people coming. I see a lot of young people desperate, a lot of desperation, a lot of no opportunities, no fairness. That's what I'm fighting for, nothing else. We should give our children scholarships, provide them education free, train them in skill acquisition. That's what I'm for. That's what I'm fighting for. So that at least if somebody wants to work hard, they can make it in an honest way. And otherwise, I've achieved everything I can achieve in life, as far as I'm concerned. But let the guy help us for the future of our children and his own grandchildren and his own kids, and yours too.
When you say you have achieved all you can achieve in life, is that a way of saying that you're not going to try to come back and try the presidency any longer? You were a presidential aspirant under the PDP in 2023 or 2022, was it? So is that like a closure, like you don't want to do that again? So you've already counted that as not one of the things that you can achieve. Is that what you're saying?
I'm talking about my professional life. Okay. As a doctor and a businessman, I feel I'm on top of the world in that. But it doesn't close any future doors in anything else. I offered myself because I think I can help. I'm more qualified than any Nigerian there. In terms of academics, in terms of business experience, I am. But when I came to run, nobody is talking to me about issues like you. When they say they have convention, all they're doing is giving Ghana must go back with $25,000 to each delegate. That's what it is. I'm a doctor. I didn't work as a governor. I didn't steal anything. It's just my money I got by going to work every day. So I came out, I offered myself. You see, I'm on TV talking about how to improve the country. If Nigeria is serious about changing us and having us challenge Japan and challenge China and America, I'm here. I'm able to do it. I did it here in America already. I competed with people, Oyibo people, Chinese, Indians, and I defeated them throughout my life. So I know how to do that. And I offered myself. It's up to Nigerians to say they want this or they don't want this. I'm available. That's why I'm talking to you. If I'm needed, I'm ready. And I have the experience. I've done that. I took #1 position since 19 years, since I came to America. I always get A's in all the tests and everything. Marching in business, I'm very successful. My company as a doctor, we have 5,000 medical doctors. One of the biggest companies in America, medical-wise. We take care of millions of people. I'm still the chairman since 1993 today. You know, I came from Nigeria. My father is a school teacher, retired. My mother sells food on the side of the road. So it's not like I inherited any money. I came here and I knew the only way I would get to the top is to get A. Every time they give me a test, I get A. Every time they give me a test, I get A. So they supported me. They didn't ask where I came from. They took over, gave me scholarship, paid all my school fees. So I know how to compete with anybody in the world. Oyibo people, Chinese, Japanese, Europeans, I can compete and I can defeat them. And Nigerians can, because I'm just like the regular Nigerian boy.
I like that. That's some humility there, and confidence too, that you know you can compare with the best around the world. It should inspire someone around the country, should inspire a young person around the country right now. Now, you talked about the fact that you are always trying to support the young so that they can have a better future. Right now, what should the youth be doing to ensure that this current leadership of INEC succeeds and that we have a better election? What do you think the youth, I mean, we've had situations where until the last elections, the youth were known never to participate. I mean, a majority of them, a huge majority of them never really used to participate in elections. And so, but that changed in 2023. So what exactly should they be doing to ensure that we can have that we can turn around things? Because you see, until people really know that they've got power through their votes, particularly the young, maybe we might just keep turning around in circles in this country.
Yeah, the youth are getting more aware. There's a lot of youth movement all over the country. They are talking to me. They are hearing my message. They're listening to these things we're talking here. They are getting more motivated because it's their future that's been mortgaged. All these old people are just there for themselves to do chop. They don't care about the future of the regular people. That, you know, the young people need to get involved because you're talking about their future. I'm doing what I can do to help them. I have many companies in Nigeria. Agricultural companies, and I give job to about 400 people, all youth running and managing my companies. I have the best bottling water in Nigeria. I make rice. I have 4 miles of farm, and we're working it with caterpillars and excavators. We're using modern American technology to form the farm. We're making about 100 bags of rice a day, and it's all young people that are managing it. All my companies, we have piggery, young people are managing it. Everybody is between 20 and 40. We have poultry, fishery. We make about 100 fish a day. We have produced about 100 fish a day. All this I'm doing is to give them job, and they're working. Where I come from, before it used to be young girls in the street, you give them 2,000 naira, they follow you to the hotel. It's not there anymore. We have young boys that used to rob house just to steal pot of soup. Egusi soup. It's not there anymore. Where I come from, everybody's working. And we can do it all over Nigeria. And I said, people shouldn't be dependent on the government. You should prepare to help yourself. successful people should help people that they can help. People should help women that are widows, their husband died.
All right, we will be rounding up very shortly. Now, you talked about your company employing 5,000 doctors. What's the name of the company, by the way?
It's Global Care Medical Group, IPA. You type Google, you will see it. Global Care Medical Group, IPA.
Global Care. Did I hear that?
Yeah. Global Care Medical Group, IPA. If it's in Google, type it, you will see.
Wow.
We're affiliated with 20 hospitals. We have 500 primary care sites, like what clinics or primary care sites we have it. We've been doing this since 1993, and we're very strong. That's why I can come to Nigeria anytime. I go back. I come. I used to come 4 times. Now I'm going to start coming every 6 times because they made me the regent of my place because our king passed away. So I have to get more involved in helping them organize our place.
Okay.
So I come. I'm going to be there soon. I have to come every other month now. But my company is very solid. Wherever I am, I can manage it from anywhere I am in the world.
Right. All right, so just before we go, you just mentioned that you'll be in the country very shortly. We do hope that you will make yourself available at Kaftan Television Studio in Abuja. Can I get an appointment ahead of time?
Yes. Just you saw my manager, our manager Eric Oluwale, you talk to him.
All right.
We have Wi-Fi. We have Zoom in the village. We're able to, the same way I'm talking to you now, I can talk to you in the village like this.
All right, okay, so we will definitely arrange that when you get into town. I'll be in touch with your manager, and that will be it. Just before we go, Doctor, don't you think that you could lend your own voice of wisdom to this new man in the saddle at INEC by probably sending him like a supportive memo, a supportive, what do you think, Brother?
Yeah, I will do that with my team. We send him a letter, let him know we're available to help.
Good.
I'm available to help anybody.
Exactly.
It's not about me. It's about Nigerian people, particularly the young. That's what I'm for.
Right. Thank you so much, Doctor. We would have to let you go now. Enjoy the rest of your day. Your day is just starting out in California. We are far gone in Nigeria. It's about 3 o'clock right now, or 2:30 here in the afternoon. Please do enjoy your day, and till when next we meet. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. And so, viewers, that's the segment with Dr. Nwachukwu Anakwenze, who's based in U.S., in California precisely, someone who has made his mark in the medical profession, who currently leads his company, which he just told us, Global Care Medical Group, and he says they employ 5,000 doctors. I mean, that should be something to pump a Nigerian person's blood, to tell you that you might start small, you can start with humble beginnings, but the sky is not even enough to stop you from flying. So that's what is going to be in that segment, and when we get back from break, we will take on the second segment. Please don't go to the polity. We begin on another topic entirely. I hope you had a good time with our US-based compatriot, Dr. Nwachukwu Anakwenze. Right now, we move quickly to the next one, and it has to do with the incessant strikes, the unending strikes by ASU, and we need to find a permanent solution to this so that we don't have this recurring disruption of academic calendar, or disruption of people's plans, disruption of family plans. I mean, how long are we going to continue to do this? There must be a way out of this. There must be a way by which we can, permanently stop this perennial I mean, what word should I use now? So it's becoming like every year we must prepare, we must make provision for an ASUU strike. Is that what it is, Osainti?
It seems so.
So we should, every year we must.
It appeared that the nation will just have to make that, will you say contingency plan? Okay, these children are going to school, but whatever it is, they may not
go for
finish this session within the period.
Imagine
they are supposed to.
Well, okay, so they have just embarked. ASUU, there's the Association of Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASUU, has just begun a 2-week warning strike. When they say it's a warning strike, it means that if nothing is done, they will not embark on the strike proper. That is, this one an acting strike, that one will come the substantive strike. Because that one will come, we can't do this. This is getting out of hand. Was it not this is 2025.
2025.
Was it not 2022 or 2023 under Buhari that we had 8 months
of strike?
No. So, what exactly are the issues? ASUU, please, what exactly are these issues that are become intractable? What are the issues?
So far, they keep telling you it's about the welfare of the members of the academic staff union of universities, issues of infrastructure, to be able to promote effective teaching and learning. They tell you it's also about unpaid allowances that were due. They also, I think one of them seemed to have been achieved by the government, which is that the request they made that they should have, we should tap more into the knowledge base of lecturers who have risen to become doctors and professors, particularly professors, so that they don't exit at that age of 60, 65. It should now be 70. I think that has been
granted.
Yeah, that has been granted. These are the partial grants. These are the lingering issues from the is it memorandum of understanding or some terms that he had with Yale as far back as what time was that, 2001 or so, and then which now came to the point where Obieze Kwesile was Minister of Education, and then the further refinement, and then proceed further to what they describe as renegotiation of that terms. So it has been that issue 2009 till date, and all these are some of the issues that are there. But for us, as parents, caregivers who have children in the universities, we simply want a permanent solution to this crisis, and this permanent solution, like many have advocated in the past. I think when government officials, honestly, I think it's a very good panacea. When government officials have their words, have their kids in this same school system, they will definitely ensure that these challenges and crises are sorted. Yes, one is sounding like a broken record already, because this has been one advocacy that has been in the forefront.
So you subscribe to that school of thought?
I subscribe strongly to that school of thought. Why will a president, a minister, why will national and state assembly members, why will governors and councillors have their students, even the lecturers themselves who are going on strike, why will they have their own children in the school system, and they want to make it impossible for the children to get proper education within the time defined for that for the curriculum, for the program, based on the curriculum that has been designed for it? It is because these persons are not, as it were, stakeholders.
They are not affected by all this.
They are not stakeholders. If they are stakeholders, then they will actually hold the stake and ensure that it works.
They will actually hold the stake.
Yes,
because they are stakeholders.
because they are
They will hold the
They'll
stake.
make sure they hold the stake and make sure it works. It is very, very unfortunate that this issue is coming, because most time you speak to the lecturers or you read about it, is still the same issue. Now, UTAS has been I think UTAS has been approved or so.
Yeah.
It has been approved, but I think the implementation is yet effective for it full effect, because to replace the IPPIS, because the university lecturers said,
rejected.
Because the university lecturers actually said that by virtue of their job and the fluidity of their operations, where a lecturer can be here and lectures there, be under university, he may be rendering services in 3 universities. So the IPPIS is definitely going to knock him off all the other places except one. But with the UTAS, given the uniqueness of their operations, it captures it, that application captures it, and so it can be used. Now, these are some of the things that we agreed upon, but they should know that if government has shown this, this level of commitment so far, it's a continuum. They should please let these children return to school while they
remain. Return,
let children return to school while the government also should be responsible. We employed those who are supposedly in government. Are you supposedly because we put you there to do something for us, but you are acting as if you got there yourself, so you are not even listening to it.
You are not even
the Nigerian people or parents are saying, respond to these needs, so that these children will be in school and get the upskilling they need in their knowledge and skill, which will be required for their afterlife. It is very critical. It is very important that this is done.
Well, like you said, it's very important. We need to address this urgently. We can't continue to have breaks in our academic programs. A child that is supposed to do a 4-year program gets into a Nigerian university and does 6 years, sometimes 7. I mean, that throws every arrangement into smithereens. If somebody had planned himself and said, okay, these next 4 years I have to be responsible for putting this child through school, and he probably has guaranteed income for those 4 years or maybe 5 years, and then you now push the child to do a 6-year program, a 4-year program for 6 years, how exactly is this person going to get funded? There's a whole lot going on. That's why sometimes some children, fall out of school. It's sad. We will not, be doing ourselves any good if we continue to allow this to linger. And I think that we need to begin to, like you said, you talked to both sides, and I think that that's what we really need. I think that we need to appeal to the lecturers to probably find some other way of projecting their grievances.
It is.
It's becoming a strike abuse, if you ask me.
Yes,
because just 2 years ago or thereabouts, you had 8 months. That's a year gone.
Now, given these realities, we take the tendency for parents to begin to think that members of staff of members of the university, of the academic staff, Union of Universities, ASU, are insensitive. The tendency
it's becoming something like that.
That tendency is there, for the fact that the parents are seeing their words who should be in school returning home,
or who should have even
not specified.
You don't know.
Those who should have graduated returning home for a time unspecified before their graduation, and that of course distorts the arrangement they may have for these kids, and some of them may decide to go and learn certain programs which is of the academic, certain vocational skill, and while they are doing that, They now say the strike has been called, the industrial action has been called on.
So you can't even plan.
So it's difficult for them to plan. Now the tendency for parents and these students to begin to feel that members of the union are not at all sensitive to their reality is there. However, it takes two to tango.
Sure.
And the lecturers, we must be honest, are parents. Yes, some of them can afford to have their children outside the shores of this nation, getting that same university education, while some cannot. But the reality is, has the federal government honored these terms of agreement? Look at one of them, funding of researches, ensuring that the infrastructure are up to date for the children, for the students to be able to get education, particularly those who will be needing some practical knowledge in the universities. Now, is it not important to have infrastructure in place, and infrastructure that will be able to cater for the students? Now, those who are lecturing, who have reason to rely on the laboratories, in the studios and other mechanical workshop to be able to deliver good teaching to the students, are not having that. It goes a long way to even get them frustrated while they are doing it. We have had several where students come up and tell you they just went through school without having hands-on experience on that which they are learning. So this also calls on the government to look at these areas and make sure that if you feel them, then the lecturers also, it is important for them to think, like you said, of a more novel way to be able to get the government to respond to these needs.
Yes.
And given the fact that it is an accumulated, demands, and which has accumulated over the period of time that government have not been able to meet with these several issues that have come up. It is important also that they honor the fact that the government may have to be attending to them little by little, and so that before it is now all attended to. It is important that all sides look at this issue and see how they can reduce the problem on the Nigerian people, the burden on the Nigerian family. The issue of no work, no pay. Well, for government, it is trying to ensure that it forces people to work. Certainly, some persons, even among these lecturers, will have to come to work, given the pain that some of them have suffered in the past. We are aware that I think that case, is it the one of 2022?
Yes.
Where they had that. They are still battling with some of such payments that have not been that have not been done. So the no work no pay thing. Yeah, over time the people get it back as backlog, which of course may have been part of why they can be able to convince the members who can fight for you, please remain at home and the rest of it. But again, I ask, your children are also affected by this action. Is it the interest of your children, your future, our future, the national future? Is it in their interest that you are going with this industrial action? Please, for the sake of the children, let's look for a way out.
Yeah. Honestly, we must look for a way out. ASUU must be creative about this. ASUU must be benevolent about this, if that's the word. Think about the children. Think about these young students whose lives are being held down, being slowed down, being mortgaged, if you like. Please, it's an appeal. I'm the host, but I think that I really feel very concerned about this, and I'm saying, please, ASUU, help us in this matter. That does not discountenance the seriousness of your demands. It doesn't in any way put down
undermine
your desires. No. I'm just saying let's deploy some other strategy, please, because you see, if a child got into school in 2022, the year of the 8-month strike, and lost almost that year is already a minus.
It's a minus. That's
already a minus. And then if you look at following that, in 2023, normally when elections hold, academic activities are also put on hold. And then you add that, and I think there was some industrial action between 2023 or 2024 again. Now you add that, that means that person may still be in year 2. I know somebody who finished from university about 2 years ago, but just had his law school just recently.
And besides, when students are made to make this kind of sacrifices, they suffer more because they go through what they call crash program.
Yes, you know.
The university now say no, we have to finish academic session between this period, and you subject
quality will definitely suffer.
You subject so many of them to a cramming session instead of actually learning to know the issues.
So now it will just be cramming to pass
exams and not really knowing it. And no wonder we end up having graduates who come for what they call internship, and people and those who the employers are wondering, were these ever trained in any way to begin to earn this place for internship? So it is really not good at all.
All right, so just in case you want to join us, we're opening up the line right now. It's 0802-9938-365. We're doing that early so that you also can have your contribution, because we need a solution. We need permanent solution. We can't keep doing this. Keep this kick and start. This go first. We'll go no way till we'll go do. I think it's about time to declare that this is an emergency right now. A situation where higher institutions in Nigeria are more on strike than in session does not bode well for the nation or for national development. So we need to do something about it. Now, if you have the ears of Mr. President or the Education Minister or the President of ASU, those are 3 different parties to the issue. What will you be saying to them?
It's simple, Mr. President. You cannot be governing a people who are disenchanted. You cannot be governing a people who are frustrated because the Ministry of Education appear not to be in total control of the university structure in a manner that will have effective policy that makes it smooth running for the union to be operating. And I will say to you, Mr. President, please let the instruments of state favorably weigh into the matter, sit with these people, and terms agreed upon, please honor them. The essence of having the office of the minister and that of the respective offices under that of the president is because they can provide the necessary support in terms of intellect, in terms of knowledge, and in terms of ideas to be able to resolve thorny issues such as these. And so when the citizens are waiting and they are not getting it, and instead of getting that kind of response for smooth running of the educational system, they are getting this kind of schism, it makes it very difficult for the people to have trust and confidence in your operation. And so, Mr. President, we are begging you, please look at this matter and charge the minister. And the minister should also charge all the respective vice chancellors to see how they can, because they were appointed. The appointment of these vice chancellors are, of course, from the president through the ministry. And so, all the instruments that are required. You have the NUC, National University Commission. You have the Committee of Vice Chancellors. The Committee of Vice Chancellors that you have. You also have other system. The National Assembly is there. Let them influence this union positively, so that they can be able to deal with the matters. I think this whole issue also borders on some of the state universities and the way the governors are also attending to the issues of these people who are members of ASU. So they should all come together and have a unified front on how to fund university education. The way you creatively came up with the NEL fund thing, for which you are being celebrated across the country. Please, Mr. President, put your men to work to resolve this matter before this 2 weeks warning strike elapsed, so that our children can return back to school.
Another part that we need to speak to, Osaiti, is this recurring spectacle of government always waiting till people actually go on strike before a proper, comprehensive, or maybe not comprehensive intervention is carried out. Because I do know that ASU had been making this announcement that it was going to go on strike, and I'm sure like 2 weeks or even a month it's been on. So why does government always wait? Doctors, I was in resident doctors recently, they gave such a warning, but until they went, nothing was done. Nurses went on strike. Until they went, they gave notice. The notice was not heeded. Do we always have to allow things to break down completely first before we now try to begin to pad it here, patch it there, and all that?
We saw this whole thing, like you said earlier. The ASU had made it clear that it is going to do this if its demands were not responded to. Now the onus rests on the government and its own officials to have gone into this matter with honesty and clarity of purpose, and then be able to have them resolved before this moment. It is very, very disheartening for Nigerian people to witness us coming back to this circle where people have to be complaining that their words are returning home, or their words are made to stay off classes because of lecture rooms, because government has not responded to the needs of infrastructure, or the needs of welfare, the needs of support for research institutions, the needs for providing outright payment instead of the loan that they say they'll be giving and all that. These demands have been there before now, long before now, and this warning has come up some months before now. These issues are supposed to be sorted. Is it that the government side does not take the threat of ASU serious? Are they trying to see if these guys can do what they have threatened to do? Now we have come to this point. We shouldn't have allowed it get to this point, where it becomes a discussion for the nation, wondering how are these kids going to fare in this condition. It's what government should have taken action, appropriate action, before now, so that we don't have it.
So Osaiti is saying government needs to be a lot more proactive than this reactionary
measures that is being adopted.
It's
to address the issue.
It's not allowing things to move smoothly. I don't know how any government can feel good when you see that the education sector is in abeyance a lot of the time. It's very sad what's happening, and I do hope that someone somewhere is watching this and working out how Nigeria's education sector can be better. I must also try to reach out to the students themselves and parents. We need to reach out to the students and parents themselves, not to allow them to be shortchanged
For parents, it's a sad experience. For anyone who has made all preparations to make sure that the child is in school, and while they're waiting for a defined time before certain before a similar preparations will be made for the child, only to now begin to have this kind of news that says that the smooth running of the child's education, the smooth running of the child's stay within this educational system is not guaranteed by virtue of this wicked extension coming through, what do you call it, industrial action. Will not be happy at all. And neither will the students themselves find it a situation that they will feel happy or just what they call it jubilating about. It is one that ignites a sense of worry amongst the children, and also with this sense of troubled, with this troubling what we call development, the young persons will not in any way be happy. And for those who can easily be distracted, this of course offers that chance for such a distraction, which may lead them into negative activities. And it is not at all a very sweet story. It is not at all a complimentary note in the academic journey of the children. It is not something that they can consider to be commendable, but instead it is one that will continue to linger with a huge sense of worry, a seeming blemish, one also that has been forced on them by the failure of the government to act appropriately when it should act and make sure that things are done properly. That is the reality.
Well, so we're here and we're asking that you join us in this struggle. It's a struggle. Everyone is involved, and we're trying to ensure that we put out the fire. So please do call in, and let's hear what you've got to say about this. And who knows, someone may just be listening, and you may just have the eureka. We may just say, yeah, this is the idea we need. Who knows? So please do call. The number is 08029938365. It's on the screen right now, and the world is waiting to listen to you. So very shortly, let me also let you know that very shortly, in less than 20 minutes, the program will be over. So why waiting? What are you waiting for? Let's get your call quickly now. Now, so when you take a very critical look, it's becoming like every one of us has to put our children in private schools, because in private schools it looks as if tenure, I mean, is guaranteed.
That is the saddest of options that are presented before the Nigerian people. And not many Nigerians, there are people who just cannot afford to have their children in private school, no matter how bad the public institutions are. And you begin to ask, what is the essence of the guarantee of social welfare, which is being promoted by these respective candidates when they run for their campaign into their respective offices? What is the essence of those promises of quality education? What is the essence of these promises of good and reliable education? What is the essence of those promises of a stabilized economy and all that for the people to run? All this as one subsect of the economy is affected, which in this case, education. Several others will be impacted upon by virtue of the children who should have been within the system not being in the system. And most of these lecturers possibly may have themselves having sufficient time for themselves now to begin to run into some of the private, what they call, to have enough time to deliver the lectures that they have there. Let one not be tempted to say that, well, this may be one of the attractions that makes it easy for them to
just go on strike,
run on this industrial action so that they can have time for what's it called. Of course, that may appear to be playing down, but it could also have been one of the selfish reasons that may have informed the industrial action. Now, it is very, very, it's a sad commentary. It is on the negative to begin to think that the Nigerian child cannot go into the university and be sure that being in a tertiary institution, he can be able to go through and come out within the prescribed period for the course or discipline that he or she has chosen for himself or herself.
Osayichi, this is a very serious matter. And I do not know whether the parties involved really know the depth, the level, the magnitude of the matter. Because what this does is that many times when the strikes are on, some children's lives are turned around negatively, irredeemably. Some you find who will join drug use groups. Some are recruited for Yahoo, some get into prostitution, and a few of them never really get back to who they used to be. And so, whatever it takes, it's important that we do not allow too much time on the hands of these very young chaps. Because, like they say, that an idle hand or an idle mind is the devil's workshop. So we can't afford, and for the umpteenth time, can we appeal to these people? Because see, whether you like it or not, yeah, maybe you have very genuine issues to fight for, but it's becoming like you people are insensitive. That's what it is to the average man on the street. For a very long time, Nigerians have always been on the side of these lecturers, right? Yeah. Nigerians have always felt, see, these people are not being taken care of. But you see, if they show you empathy or sympathy, it's just
does not confer legitimacy to
on the incessant distortions that we see. And by the way, should also elicit a desire for you to also reciprocate. So I think that that's where we are, because and on the other hand, how much is really involved that we cannot take care of? That's on the side of the government. How much is it that is really involved that we cannot take care of this once and for all, and then we can move to other things?
You know, in the terms of agreement, 2009 renegotiated agreement, they talked about the 26% budgetary allocation, which of course falls within the UN standard. And over the years, of course, it has been difficult for the federal government, given the paucity of funds for funding the budgets that have all this while been funded by loans and other sources outside the internally generated revenue from the country. It has been very troubling. I think the initial was about 1.6 trillion, they said.
As at 2009.
Yes, but you given the play when the naira and the dollar found itself in the yo-yo dance, when the naira found itself in the yo-yo dance against the dollar, and then crippled down to as much as over 1,000 naira, of course that amount would have also skyrocketed
definitely
into a huge sum, because most of these items that will be required beside the cash that will be needed for salaries, augmentation of salaries, is they called it end allowances and the rest, end academic allowances that are to go. The truth remains that even with that, there has been an increase in in salaries from that. So it definitely will shoot this money up out. And for the issues of the infrastructure and the equipment that may be required for the workshop, for the laboratories, and other physical teaching aids for the respective courses that will require them, it means that except for those which are produced in Nigeria. I do not know if you are aware of any place where such production may possibly be going for such equipment. If there are any within Nigeria, they all have to be imported, most likely. And that, of course, would be the naira playing against the dollar for this kind of funding. So it's indeed a huge sum. We can only look at what the dollar rate was at the time of that agreement of 1.6 trillion, and then make a percentile, what's it called, abridgment to, conversion to know what it likely will be today. So if the naira at that time was around 150 naira or 120 naira as at the time, then you now look at the naira today and it was 1.6 trillion at that time, and today you have the naira playing at 1,400
and something.
That's how many thousand percentage increase is that? So that will fall on the amount, raising it to somewhere within the region of 10 or more than that, a trillion, to be able to fund the what they call. But again, that is not impossible. It is not what can be acquired, because not what cannot be acquired. After all, we've had our sons here in this country going to make huge donations to some universities abroad, where somebody who left this country here, left the university in his home state, I went to his child university to go and flaunt his wealth. I was making a donation of about 14 million or $4 million, as it were, at that time, for whatever it is. Meanwhile, charity, they say, begins at home. So it would have been important to have such kind of intervention. And then some of those persons, we must commend the First Lady for her call to Nigerian supporters who want to support her for her 65th birthday, when she requested that it should be channeled to the building of the National Library, which again talks about her sense of scholarliness, scholarly disposition, And we can also ask that the president and his own men too, who may be in power, if all the ministers decide to convert their birthday, all the support for their birthday to have such money be channeled towards resolving this ASU issue, we are most likely going to come to the point of having this matter resolved within a short time. Imagine that the president and all his cabinet members decide that, okay, well, all our supporters who are very wealthy and who want to come and begin to make donations to us on our birthdays or any of such days of ceremony, let us now convert that money to attending to some of these ASU issues. And when they come, the donations are made into a dedicated account and the funds are channeled to address these several issues. Most likely, we'll have that issue resolved. Added to our call that the federal government should ensure that agents of governments who are even lecturers and vice chancellors should have their own words within this same within this same school system, so that they can know how directly this impacts on the quality of graduates that are produced from these institutions.
Would that not amount to an infringement on the rights on the human rights of those people?
No, not at all. It's an act of charity. It's an act of good gesture.
Charity should be of free will.
Remember, like I said, we're not compelling them to donate. The First Lady in her call was that for those who were going to send birthday wishes, in monetary forms, we're going to send them in other what they call donation. There is a dedicated account. Send the money there, so it will now be used to complete the National Library project. That is her decision. And of course, for those who would have done that, whatever the donation will be, it will go a long way in building the National Library. I'm not saying, can we now adopt that for this national challenge, where the governors, because as they are all thronging from different parties into the APC, it's because of the conviction that they have trust in the capacity of the leader in the APC to be able to provide, to give a better Nigeria. And therefore, we are saying, being his wife who made that gesture, who got herself involved in that act of charity, which is noble, which is worthy of emulation, we are now asking that these governors, these legislators, who are ready to throw hundreds and millions and billions of nairas for the such a Gunje activity for the president or his family or any other a person, can now decide that, okay, let us please, instead of donating this money for this activity, come and do it so that we can now have these donations channeled into our educational into our educational system to be able to resolve this matter once and for all. I am very sure Nigerians will be very, very proud of the president. I am sure Nigerians will be proud of the president's aides who would have taken that kind of step, having drawn this lesson from the mother of the nation who has properly guided the nation. So I can assure you that will be a very, very good thing. We'll be happy about that.
All right, okay. Now let's look at this. Is it not possible for these universities to be self-sustaining? Let's even veer off entirely from this dependence on support from the federal government. Is it possible for these schools to be self-sustaining?
Recall that these universities have been championing the call for autonomy, but the reality from such who have such calls, particularly looking at the state-funded universities, the costs at which students get education is so high that they cannot pay. Most parents cannot be able to afford it, given the fact that the universities are seen, the state universities are seen, when I mean state now, I mean both federal and state, are seen as a contributory effort of the government to boost her manpower through cheaper means. Because if you know what the cost is today in the private institution for the same level of education that are being offered in the private school, while you have the public school paying some 150, 200,000, we have most of these private institutions paying as much as a million or more, or two to get the same a knowledge in law, or the same knowledge in speaking English, or the same knowledge in mastering computer science, which in public school is far less than it. So if you now talk about autonomy of the university, it means the school management will have to sit down and look at their realistic pricing for these courses, so that they cannot throw it back at the student. And I can tell you, over 70% of students in public school may just not have the capacity to run into such institutions. And it is a reason why the federal government has continued to hold onto funding of the universities, so that they can be able to have more persons getting university education that is needed to boost national skill set and manpower for its growth and development.
I do not know whether you have thought of this, or those of you watching us. These universities do a whole lot of businesses. Is it not possible to scale those businesses and also maybe bring about new ones to be able to fund themselves? Because most universities in this country, I do know that Unilag, I don't know whether it's still operating now, they used to have a hotel by the water, by the, I call it the beach now. They used to have a hotel on that campus. That was revenue generation. Most universities bake bread to sell to residents of the campus, both students and staff alike. Most universities run international, what is called the international school, their secondary school branch, if you like. Most universities run, sell pure, or sachet water, and then consultancies. And so, my question is, where do these monies go? Are they properly accounted for? Can we then say, okay, let's remove this feeding bottle system of them depending on the government, and let's do business proper and use it to support. And don't forget, they run a whole lot of programs that bring in money also. A lot of, I mean, there are part-time programs. There are, of course, the graduate programs. That is not on the, beyond undergraduate. You have graduate programs. You have all kinds of programs, all kinds. So, I think that the universities, on their own, some of them or most of them, should be able to sustain themselves.
So this narration has been discussed before now, and like I said, if you recall, the government was careful not to allow it, because when you go independent, then there is a lot of trouble in terms of funding of the institution, because the bulk of it will call back on the student. All these businesses you mentioned now, will they be able to provide the funds required to run 2 sessions, to run an academic program to run these universities for a year, given the gigantic nature of some of these universities? You get it. So it is a point where, again, it may be a good advice in the sense that when you begin to match innovations in these universities to industries.
Exactly, because that's where if we don't have the time, unfortunately.
The research findings of universities that can bolster certain products, bolster certain businesses and all that.
When there's a connection between gown and town, some of these things
certainly they cannot begin to most likely. But again, when they do that, will they factor such innovation beneficiation to begin to reduce fees? Because we know very well in Nigeria, when things goes up, it's difficult for it to return down, except the rain.
Except rain. All right, so that's where we're going to leave it today. But we do hope that stakeholders, people who are involved in all of this, can find a middle ground so that the average student, the ordinary man on the street, does not suffer unduly. Please, if you can, call off the strike. Let's look for some other way of doing this. That's my call.
But if you
please,
can't,
dear
please call it
government,
off.
please do what is needful. We can't continue to still be talking about 2009, 2009, 2009. This is disturbing. It's very, very disturbing. Well, we just got to say our bye-byes, and it's bye from me. But just before then, we want to say thank you for staying tuned to Kaftan TV, and tell them this is where it happens. Please do join me again at 8, from 8 to 9 on Matters Arising. And I must say a big thank you to my production team, Divine, every one of you. I thank you. You do a marvelous job all the time, and very shortly the world will hear about you. Yeah, and it's bye from me and from Osaiti. Bye from us. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Madrid. Bye-bye.